Hi, my name is Frederick Beck. I've always had a special relationship with animals, especially reptiles. So wherever I go, I try to interact with and learn about as many animals as possible. And of course, also share my experience and knowledge. I am the Bavarian Herper. So a few weeks ago I had a stopover in Singapore and I decided to put my time to some use and go out and do a bit of urban herping, because there's a lot of geckos around in Asian countries like Singapore, all around in the city. Sadly, I didn't have my proper camera with me, so sorry for the bad quality, but can't help it. Hope you enjoy the video anyways. So the first species that I saw was the spiny-tailed gecko, or the common house gecko. That's actually the most common species of house gecko in the Southeast Asia region. And yeah, they're very adaptable to urban settings and stuff like that. And these guys are very easily identified by the short little spines around their original tail. If they have a regrown tail, then they won't have these little spines, but most of the times they have a stump, so then you should still be able to see a bit of spines. Yeah, other than that, yeah, they have a vertical pupil, rather short claws on all of their digits, and yeah, they're a pretty compact little gecko, you could say. With these guys, what actually makes them so adaptable is also that their patterning is highly variable and often depends on the substrate on which they live. So that's why obviously all the geckos I saw all have like a creamish, whitish color, because obviously they're living on that wall stuff. So yeah, they're gonna be like kind of pale yellowish. That's usually the ones that you're gonna find in urban settings, or when they live on white walls, like in this case obviously. And what's also very interesting about these guys is that this species is actually widespread in all countries of Southeast Asia. And also they've been actually able to successfully colonize outside of the region. So there are actually, these guys occur in regions around the Indian Ocean, like parts of Africa, South America, and even islands of the Western Pacific Ocean. So yeah, highly adaptable animals and very cool to watch, and like all geckos, best pest control you can have. And people should be very thankful that they have these geckos, because otherwise they would be covered in insects. Then another species that I encountered is the flat-tailed gecko, which is also very common. These guys are very easily identified by their flat tail, and they're fringed with like loose skin on the sides. The video isn't too good, so I'm gonna insert a picture where you can see it. Yeah, color and markings can vary from like a plain gray to an attractive pattern of dark brown stripes or diamonds along the spine, stuff like that. So they're very nice. They're active by day and night. With geckos in urban areas, the best way to find them is to go to artificial lighting, because that's a place that's gonna attract the most insects. Yeah, it's just a very easy, comfortable food source for geckos. I mean, it's like they have to sit there and wait and occasionally jump on an insect that comes by, but they don't really have to do a lot. So it's very convenient for them, and they've learned to use that. So yeah. And the last species that I encountered was a stump-toed gecko. I found them in a friend's house. They're actually usually the geckos you will find inside the houses. The other two species can be in a house, but actually the stump-toads, they're also pretty big geckos as well, and they have their areas in the house. they kind of have, as you'll see, the one right now was actually living behind that lamp on the ceiling there, and they can grow up to 12.5 centimeters long. Yeah, they're usually patternless like these ones with actually pretty transparent skin, so you can actually see kind of through them. They have pretty big eyes, and these guys are actually also an invasive species in several areas including Hawaii and Mexico. Another interesting fact is that these guys have extremely delicate skin, and it can be, you want to try and catch them, you touch them and the skin is rubbed off, and it's just going to be the flesh. So they shouldn't really be handled that much. That's why I decided not to catch them, even though it was at my friend's house. The other ones, usually either they were too fast outside or they were too high, as you saw, the geckos. I didn't catch anything on that little trip, just looked at a lot of geckos. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I hope you do too. And yeah, hope you stay tuned for more of my videos. And if you did enjoy the video, please leave a comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you very much.